bass.
Back streets back, all right. Dum dum dum, boom boom dum. I don't know if that's the right chords, but bam bam bam. Back streets back, all right. We back, baby. What's wrong?
I just want to know, like, how long. I don't know how many more back songs you have, like.
Bro.
You're gonna run out.
I'm never gonna run out.
You are gonna run out.
I'm never gonna run out.
You're gonna have to start making up songs.
I'm an artist. I can do that. So once I start making it, guess what? It's a song. Because I'm an actual artiste. So if I decide I want to create a song that has the word back in it, guess what? I made it up and it now exists in the ethos. In the atmos. In the trionos.
You're just making up words now.
Trionosphere is, wow. Oof,
I didn't say trionosphere. Why are you showing it like that?
The ethos, the atmosphere.
Okay.
All those are spheres.
You're a sphere.
Hey, that just means...
I don't want to hear no explanation.
It's no end to me, baby. And I don't take sides because I'm a real one. You know what I'm saying? Ooh, that was fire.
It's the new year and he's still acting childish.
Spheres don't have sides, so I said I don't take sides. I'm a real one. I'm solid, boy. All right. Like, subscribe.
Yo, wait. Before you ask them for anything,
sorry. Hey, y'all.
Say hi. How was your holiday?
They know how I greet them. I greet them with the back song.
Happy New Year, y'all. Welcome to 2022. We are excited for...
Whoa. Hold that thought. Happy whole year. I don't wish y'all New Year's. I wish
whole
y'all
year.
Whole years. Happy whole year, baby.
Happy
January
year.
through December. Let it be blissful, peaceful, joyful. And even when the adversity comes, let it produce joy.
You giving me
happy
like...
whole year.
You giving me...
I'm just really excited.
Dr. Umar vibes. It's real.
Whoa.
Not his theories and all this other stuff. It's just the way you...
I mean, he's brilliant. So,
I'm not saying he's not.
He's actually, he gets a bad rep for a lot of things because the
agree.
whole school situation, but he's actually a very brilliant man.
But it's just like the...
Dr. Umar vibes. Don't ever say I give you another man's vibes ever in your life. Ever. You understand me?
I just don't like the way this
you understand? Man, entiende.
I don't like the way this episode is starting.
Yeah,
let's just get into it.
Let's get into it. All right, here's what we're not going to do.
Here's what we're not going to do.
Here's what we're not going to do in 2022. This is what we're going to talk about. As parents, here's some of the things we are not going to do in 2022. And you need to stop singing. That's one. That should be number one on the list.
It's like mood music, but they like it when I sing.
No, they don't.
They do.
We're not talking about anything of substance right now. You're wilding for the first 5 minutes. You're screaming, screeching.
I'm screaming. But come on, son. Like, you just came. We're not doing this right now.
We'll talk about it in the car.
In front of our viewership.
We'll talk about it in the car. Anyways, so this is our first episode of the year.
Yeah.
So I think that it's important that we do some straightening. You know what I'm saying? Let's do some straightening. I think that it's important for us to talk about some things that we are going to try to make a commitment to not do in 2022. Here's what we not going to do in 2022.
In 2022.
As parents especially, all right? And if you're not a parent, this is still important because I think it matters to you, in particular in communities of color. What we talk about is going to matter to you. So the Black tradition... That's what I can speak from. That's my context. Mm-hmm. I think we are rich in oral tradition.
Yes.
And what I mean by that is we have these ways where sayings were said generations prior, and they're still said today because of the way we pass down like, first of all, black folks are the best storytellers in the world. Like, nobody.
All right, so boom.
Yo, nobody tells a story like a black person. I don't care. Nobody
The
says
sound effects, the
sound effects. Nah, so then she said, it's like,
and I was like,
So I was like, yo, right? So like the things black people do when they tell a story. So let me tell you, right? You know something crazy about that happened. But in that old tradition, I also think that in spite of its rich history, there are also things that have been passed down that we make jokes about, but they actually are harmful to the future and to the like mental and emotional confidence of our children. Okay, so here's where we take a little bit of a pivot. All right. Here's where this episode's idea came to me. So, as y'all know, I'm in graduate school right now. If you've been following the podcast, you know that I'm in graduate school right now. And I was trying to figure out in class a couple weeks back, there was something happening where we had to like critique this like really well-known writer, right? We had to critique their work and unpack why we either agreed, disagreed, and challenge some of their theories and stuff, right? And I think I'm a pretty smart person.
I think so too.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that affirmation. I think I'm pretty smart. Brilliant, if I might add. But one thing that I really struggle with, especially in graduate school, we have to do a lot, is critiquing writers, right? Like these powerful people who have contributed to fields of study. I have like a issue like unpacking what they said and then like breaking it down and critiquing them. I don't have a problem understanding it. I don't have a problem summarizing it. I don't have a problem spitting it back to people. I always am challenged with like critiquing them. And I wonder why. Like, how come it seems like a lot of my counterparts, especially of a different hue, seem to like be able to critique these like well-known, world-renowned authors and writers and journalists. And I'm like, how do they do this so well? Like challenge this person. And it hit me. I had a revelation, y'all. I had a revelation. Here's what hit me. Sometimes black folk struggle with stuff like this, or I'll say me, because we were always taught to follow somebody's rules because they said so. So if you challenge somebody at the church, mother, well, why did she do that, or why did because she said so. Oh, okay. Hey, mom, dad, why did I have to da 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 da? Because I said so. It's like, well, dang. You know, and sometimes the kid means no harm when they're asking. They genuinely want better rationale.
Yeah, like, why is this system in place?
Yes. And what we've internalized is that authority should never be challenged. So now subconsciously, even at this stage in my life, and first of all, let me squeeze this little disclaimer in. My parents are fire. My mom and my dad are fire. So don't think this is some shot at them, all right? Let me just clarify. This is about the community as a whole. But what we've internalized is I realized, oh, shoot, I'm struggling with critiquing this person because this person's writing is a voice of authority.
Wow.
And I've learned that I shouldn't challenge authority. Because if grandma or grandpa ever says something and I wanted to know why, they say, because I said so.
Yeah.
If mom and daddy ever says it, they say, because I said so.
Yeah.
If the leaders of the church, the deacons, the trustee, whatever, it's because I said so. And it's like, oh, okay.
That don't mean it's right.
It doesn't mean it's right. And it might be eight times out of 10, the adult is wiser. It might be right.
Yeah.
I just don't get it because I don't have as much world experience as you.
Yeah.
So you might be right in action, but wrong in delivery or wrong in rationale. So I actually don't understand why you're saying so, but because sometimes as adults, because we go through this, we're threatened.
By not being capable to
Yes.
answer.
We don't have the articulation to explain to you why this is right. So we just tell you because I said so.
Yeah.
Because our pride is, we can't look weak to you.
Yeah.
So our pride is is what's being threatened.
Yeah.
But let me say this. This episode is going to be about sayings and oral traditions that have been passed down that we either need to reframe or need to completely dispel, not even dispel, dismantle is a better word, and just do away with.
Yeah, because it's not helpful at all.
Because I said so, it's just not as funny as it is sometimes. Like when we like watch it on TV and movies and media and stuff like that, it's really not healthy for the well-being of the child.
Yeah. And I think it also limits them, like it'll cause them to suppress any, because with them asking, why you're telling them to do a certain thing, and then you give them that, whatever the explanation is for that particular thing, that child may have a better way of doing what you're asking them to do. So it could suppress them from, any kind of creative systematic way of figuring things out or thinking.
It don't even have to be creative, just intellectual problem solving too.
Like, oh no, let me not even think that, because whatever mommy and daddy or this parent figure is telling me to do, even if I don't know what the procedures are, I know that it's just set in stone.
It's set in stone because that's what they said, and it might not always be the best way. Or even if it's the best way, me understanding why it's a good way would help me with managing situations similar in the future.
Yeah.
Ooh, so here's what we're not going to do in 2022 because I said so.
Also, I want to add on to this before we move on to the next one. I think that actually, a theory could be that it stems from, our parents or our ancestors not being allowed to, it's a way for them to take their power back in the home. Like just growing up,
talk that black trauma stuff.
Yeah, like working and trying to make something, a legacy, a living for your family.
And then you're under somebody white.
You're working under this white supremacy and white authority, and at home you don't have to give explanation. Your white boss is not giving you an explanation for why your check is short, or why you have to work more hours and not get paid overtime, or why you can't vote, or why you can't do X, Y, and Z. So I'm going to take the power back where I can and not have to give you an explanation.
You are brilliant. You're brilliant.
I think that that's a theory. I never thought of that. It may not be wrong. I mean, I may not be right, but it's just one way to think of.
That's a good place to locate it in black trauma.
Yeah.
If you locate it there, then we can know how to unpack it. Man, that's crazy. That's good. That's good. It's a way to take their power back. You got another one of a like something that's been passed down by parents, especially in the black community, that we just need to just get rid of or rethink.
Yeah, that's why we're laughing about. That's why we can still laugh and smile about. It is funny, but it may not. It just may not be effective for the times that we're in. But moving on, another one is fix your face before I fix it for you.
Oh man!
So now your child gets in trouble. They're crying.
We get some straightening done in this episode.
Your child does something. They're in trouble. They're crying from guilt, shame, whatever it is. And now it's fix your face if I fix it for you. So now you're further traumatizing them, and they don't know how to handle their emotions.
They're not crying just because they got popped or something like that.
It's not just about the pain.
Shame. And you're killing this episode. Nah, you're unpacking things that I didn't even think about. Like,
it's not always about pain. Like, mommy hit me hard on my butt, or the belt. Whatever it is I'm embarrassed about what I did. And I shouldn't have done that thing. But outside of that, I think it also teaches our children, by saying, fix your face before I fix it for you, it teaches them to, like, hide their emotion. You know what I mean? So, like, it also goes back to slavery. I didn't even realize, but when the slave master is, whipping you, and if they see you show any emotion, they're going to whip you harder. You know what I mean? You're going to get more lashes so you got to take the beating with a straight face, but it's like, no, let me
wildin' not. Wow. Yes.
It's like, it hurts me.
Did you do research before this? Like, what the heck? Like, I feel like you are wild in this episode, but that's so true. My gosh. Wow. I didn't even think about that. But
and last point.
No, this is your point.
And then you come in. It also, like, depending on the age of the child, it also, like, that may be their only way to show how they feel. You
it's
know what
the
I
only
mean?
tools they have.
It's all that they have. So if I'm crying, I don't know how to articulate to mommy and daddy. If I'm 2 and I'm in trouble, or if I'm 3 and I'm in trouble, even if I'm 8 and I'm in trouble, they don't have their vocabulary is not vast enough yet for them to fully explain the depths of how they're feeling. You know what I mean?
If you want better responses from your children, give them better tools. If you want to see better responses to trauma or to problem solving or to issues that they're going through, you have to equip them with better tools to express themselves.
What have you given them to show them? Do they have draw it out? How are you feeling? Get your doll. And...
To be honest, most of the kids are responding how they see us respond.
Yeah. Yeah.
When we're not having a good day, when we find out the loan we applied for got denied, when we find out work was stressful, or we come home and we're upset about the person that cut us off on the road, their tantrums are reflections of
our tantrums. Yeah.
Does it ever really change?
Man, we get older and
just get older,
grown-up tantrums.
We just have tantrums with more words, but we're not using. Oh, this is crazy.
Tools.
We're not actually using different tools. We're using the same tools we used when we were 2 years old and got upset.
So now we flipping people off on the road.
We still have tears
and screaming at you, a-hole, or you mother, whatever.
We just have more words to match with our tantrum throwing.
But with them, it's just they don't know what to say. They're embarrassed. They're hurt. They're whatever it is.
So we got to give kids more tools in order to get different reactions.
Yes.
I'm actually learning as we go. All right. I got one. This one is funnier and is less like, I think, quote unquote, traumatic. I think it's not something we necessarily have to do away with, but I think it's one that came to my mind that we have to explain better and give more rationale when we do say it.
Okay.
So when you're driving with your kids or you're out in the street with your kids and they ask to get outside food, there's 2 responses parents say. There's food at home, or do you have
McDonald's money?
Whatever they ask for. It could be Burger King, McDonald's. Nowadays, these kids bougie.
You got Shake Shack money?
Chick-fil-A, Shake Shack, whatever. Do you got Shake Shack money?
Definitely.
Mommy, can I get some Burger King? Do you got Burger King money? That one's funny. I don't think it traumatizes the kid. No. But here's the thing that I think needs to happen more with that. I think there's 2 opportunities that parents are missing out on when it comes to those responses. The there's food at home and the do you have McDonald's money? Let's just use McDonald's. I don't eat McDonald's, but we'll use it for the sake of the argument. 2 opportunities that are being missed. 1, a lesson on fiscal or economic responsibility. We can't get that because mommy already spent $300 or $200 at the grocery store last week.
We did.
Right? So we still have food, and I bought all that food so that we don't have to spend extra money. Once you make me spend extra money, now I'm spending that money and I'm wasting the money of the food that might go bad that I bought from the grocery store. Right? True. So now you got to be honest with your kids and say, I budgeted enough money for the grocery shopping, not for extra meals. Yeah. Maybe Saturday we can go to, for the sake of the argument, McDonald's, because that's when I'll have a little extra money and I'll treat you because of whatever, you've done well in school or something like that, right? But we don't want to miss an opportunity to teach kids that we're not unlimited amounts of money. And even if we have a lot of it, we have a lot of it because we learned how to ration it.
So it's not always the fact that mommy or daddy doesn't have the money for it. It's sometimes about just showing them discipline and responsibility. And economic responsibility. So we don't want to miss that lesson when they ask about food, because food is money. So we want them to understand the value of your budget, right? Here's the second thing I think that we're missing an opportunity to do. I think we're missing an opportunity to teach our kids that we have personal limits as people. What I mean by that is, Mommy, can I have McDonald's? Forget the money aspect. I just don't have it.
Right? Like, I don't have the money. The money essentially is what we don't have, but it transfers into other things in life. Like, that mommy or daddy will have a capacity.
Yeah.
So
it
it's
humanizes
like,
us.
Yeah, so it's like, hey, I don't have the money today. Right? But it also teaches a lesson. You got to understand, daddy won't always have da-da-da-da-da. Some days I don't have the time.
Yeah.
Some days I don't have the
energy.
Some days it might be patience. We have different banks. Some of it is financial. Some of it is emotional. But giving them an honest answer about why they can't have McDonald's, instead of just saying, do you have McDonald's money?
Because clearly they don't.
they either don't or they might. They might have it in their savings and they might be like, well, can I just buy it out of my own savings?
That's true.
And then now you got to teach them why they shouldn't take it out of that money for just temporal pleasures, right? So I think those two opportunities are being missed: a lesson on financial or economic responsibility, and a lesson on discipline about limits.
That's good. That
the parents won't have just unlimited everything.
Yeah.
But that they actually have capacities that will reach their cap sometimes.
Sure. Yeah.
Know what I mean? All right.
Let's do one more.
Let's do one more. Let's get it.
Go sit down somewhere. You tell your kids, go sit down somewhere. They getting on your nerves. They running around. They loud. They screaming. They playing too rough. Whatever it is, just go sit down somewhere. And usually that stems from us being short fused, and we don't want to hear the noise, and we don't want to have to clean up a mess that they might make inside the house.
Facts.
Or we don't want, sometimes it is about them just playing dangerously and recklessly. But I think what that does for children is that they're children. They're supposed to explore. And that it puts them inside this box where they feel like they're not allowed, certain things are off limits to them, which, they are, but like it's going to, they might think that on a larger scale, you know what I mean? So let them explore, let them fall sometimes, let them, if they're playing around something that is breakable but not necessarily valuable, let it break so that you can show them, I told you that was going to happen. You know what I mean? Or,
I ain't letting them break nothing. No, let me stop. No, I get what you're saying. I think that kids, like you said, they have energy and it's supposed to be used. Sometimes it's a sign that we're not creating the atmosphere and we're too insecure to address that. We didn't do what we need to do as parents to make an atmosphere that makes kid behavior comfortable.
So stop climbing on my couches. Okay, well, what can I jump on?
Right, like give them something to jump on or move something around. Everything can't be just your space as an adult just because you pay for it. It's like they have to have outlets. They live here
too. They don't pay bills, but they live here too, and they deserve
gotta have
comfort.
outlets. Did you muster up? Did you take the nap you promised you would take so that you got the energy to take them to the park? You know what I mean? Like, what is missing so that you could put them in a position to use that energy as opposed to suppressing what's actually natural for a kid. That's how they explore. That's how they become scientists. That's how they become mathematicians and thought leaders and problem solvers, architects. It's because you let them. You sit them down, you've just limited some future contribution to our world. That's how you gotta look at it. You keep them from doing everything, and I'm not saying don't ever have limits, but you keep them from doing everything. Don't touch my book.
They're not even
get away from the bookshelf. Get away from the kitchen. They might be the next chef. Let them stand by you. You create an atmosphere where they'd be comfortable exploring and where you can supervise so that you don't feel like they're being too reckless.
Where they can find out what they like to do. Because they won't know what they like or dislike if they don't try anything.
Facts.
Because it is the way that you think. As a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. You're as strong as you think you are. You're as mighty as you think you are. You can do as much as you think you can do. You can build as much as you think you can build. It is totally up to you. It's not up to money. It's not up to people. It's not up to corporations. It's up to you. You got the shovel. You got the shovel. You got the shovel. As a man thinketh in his heart, so is he.
So I do think that there are there are some of these like traditions that are funny and actually good. Like what are they? Like they're actually teaching you good things, right? So, for instance, I put it like this: I ain't grow up in a white home, or I just know in a black house, every time you come from outside and you come inside, don't change your clothes. Like, go take a bath. You smell like
outside.
You smell like outside.
Everybody knows what that smell is.
Yeah, I don't
can't
think
explain it, but you know what it smells like.
And I don't think we need to do away with that one because I think it teaches your kids hygiene. It teaches them personal, care for their bodies and for their hygiene.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. You smell like outside.
Go clean up. Take care of yourself and stop funking up my house.
There you go. Let's keep. I vote that we keep
you smell
like outside. Next, you got one?
I do.
Any good ones?
Another good one is I'm not such and such mom. So
I don't care what David did. I ain't David's mom.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like if David jumped off a bridge, would you jump off a bridge? Or if David did this, would you do that? And
Black parents,
whether or not you would do what your friend did, I think the lesson to be learned in that statement is that it teaches your children not to be impressionable. So just because your friend is doing something doesn't mean that you have to do it. You know what I mean?
That's tough.
And there's a phrase that your dad says all the time that I think is, kind of mirrors this and mimics the same lesson. He says, it's okay to be a copycat as long as it's the right cat you're copying. So, learn from your friends and take the good lessons, but you don't have to do everything.
Don't be a follower all the time. Be a leader.
Yeah.
Be an initiator.
Right,
Thought leader.
right.
Yeah.
And just because they're your friend doesn't mean you have to agree and get along with everything they say. If you think it's a bad habit.
So we voting. I'm not such and such mom.
I'm not such and such mom.
All right, I'm not such and such mom. We keep that. It's not a saying, but I got one that's good that I think we should keep. It's something that parents just ask their kids to do. Mm-hmm. It might not be as common now because of the pandemic. We all been shut down and stuff like that. But take the meat out the freezer. I think it's not as common because not as many kids are home alone like they used to be.
It's not the 90s.
It's not the 90s. There's so many laws against that and child regulation stuff. But listen, you know what it teaches me? I know it sounds like I'm joking, but what it teaches is that even though mommy or daddy gonna cook and then they come in, it teaches community. You're a contributor.
Yeah.
I can't. So when the mom get home or dad get home and they slap you upside your head, pop you in the back of the head because you forgot to take it out.
That's what they used to do to you?
I'm not no snitch.
Snitch.
I ain't no snitch. So I don't know what they did to me.
You don't know?
Because I'm so old, I can't remember. So, but you pop in the back of the head. Didn't I tell you to take the meat out the freezer? But
why you ain't take the meat out the freezer?
Because they were at work.
But why didn't you do it before they went to work?
They were at work and they were rushing to get you ready for school and checking your homework and fixing you breakfast and ironing your uniform and ironing
Sorry, Mom.
their uniform.
Sorry, Mom.
And your siblings' clothes. Huh?
All right.
And signing the permission slip.
It did a lot.
Before you got this permission slip for this trip tomorrow? All right, cool, boom, boom. Right? It's so much. They're like, yo, take the meat out the freezer. It reminds you that even though your parents lead the charge in what they do, you're still a part of the community. And when you forget to take the meat out the freezer, it impacts the dinner we eat tonight. Because I might pay the bills, but you're also a contributor to this household. It's a subtle lesson.
That's true.
But I think it's really important. So
we vote to take the meat out.
Keep having your kids take the meat out the freezer.
Even if y'all both home. Even if y'all working remotely and virtual learning.
Tell the kids, take the meat out the freezer.
All right, we did 4 bad ones. Or quote unquote bad. Let's do 4 good ones.
All right, what's the 4th?
How about you better know your schoolwork the same way you know them song lyrics.
Listen, what's your case for keeping that one?
I think for that one,
I'm a rapper.
Well, the interesting thing about this one is that it doesn't tell the child not to know the lyrics. You know what I mean? It just says you better know your work the way you know the lyrics. So it teaches them balance. All work and no play makes Jack a dull boy. That idiom.
Never heard that. I don't even know who Jack is. Only Jack in my hood was people getting jacked for their was the Jack boys. All right, I'm sorry. Sorry.
But I think the lesson to be learned there is it just teaches your children to value education, and it also teaches them, like, the work-life balance.
That you don't have to get rid of your fun. Just know the other part of your fun is just as important.
Absolutely.
Or more important.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
This was fun.
I like this. So what we not going to do in 2020.
Here's what we not going to do.
Okay. Shout out to Andy Mineo.
In 2022.
Okay. Shout out to Joseph Solomon. Okay. Done?
In 2022.
All right. This or that. This or that.
I started last time. You start this time.
All right. Let's go. I definitely didn't make up this question. Okay. Here we go.
Oh, yeah. This is like a New Year's edition.
Oh, yeah. It's New Year's, not
a
day,
whole year edition.
A whole year day. You know what I'm saying? I mean, whole year celebration episode. So here we go. Would you rather clean up all the confetti in Times Square or blow up all the balloons in Times Square? Wait, what balloons?
Confetti or balloons? Stop thinking so much. Just
what balloon?
Instinct. If there are, I don't know. We from New York. We never been to the ball drop.
So you just assume there's balloons?
Well, whatever decorations. I'm trying to cheat.
I'll cheat and I'll have the same answer, and I bet our answers are different.
Confetti.
Wow.
Balloons?
Yes.
You hate the squeaking sound of balloons. Why would you want to pop the balloons?
They don't exist.
I'm not even...
Y'all put in the comments, those that are from New York. If y'all
They don't know either.
Balloons.
No, we don't know.
Well, since they don't exist, I'll say, hey, I'll do that job. And then you get there, there's no balloons there. You sit and watch you scrub all that confetti.
Scrub?
Because the confetti does exist. All right, number 2. Go.
I don't want to do this no more. Would you rather dance wherever you go or say cheers after every sentence?
Ready?
Cheers.
Dance.
Well, I don't know how to dance, so I don't want to be embarrassing myself all over the place.
It didn't say what dance. You could do a quick shoulder shimmy. Pop, pop, pop. And you've fulfilled your dance requirement at the entry of every place you go into. You could do a quick leg kick. Bing.
But cheers, I feel like saying cheers at the end of everything is also gonna, it might bring some joy.
Bring some joy, cheers?
Yeah, cheers.
Why would it do that, cheers?
Isn't this a fun little tit cheers?
A little fun what cheers? Tit cheers?
Yeah, cheers. We're not gonna do this right now, cheers.
Not gonna do what, cheers?
Yo, last question, son.
Last question, cheers. You can't say son. Cheers is how we end sentences.
These are hypothetical questions, so I don't have to actually act it out.
Cheers. You're annoyed already. It's been 30 seconds.
No,
this
I'm
is my
annoyed because
point.
I'm trying to finish the
and you'll be
episode.
trying to finish episodes when you say cheers too.
Cheers. Go ahead. Come on. Last question.
Right. Imagine how you mess up our podcast saying cheers after everything. Nobody's gonna watch us.
They will.
Last question.
After you say cheers.
All right. For the new year, you only could pick one. All right.
Okay.
Would you rather be twice your weight or have half your money?
All right.
Here we go.
All right. Half my money.
We ain't agree on nothing.
No.
Twice my weight.
I'm not going to be 300 pounds. I feel like it's easier for me to get the money back that I lose than for me to lose the weight. And I'm just not about it.
Nah, I don't like losing no money.
Not that I like it.
2 times the weight. I don't mind losing weight, but I don't want to lose no money. Yo.
Yeah, okay.
Subscribe, like, comment, share. Tell your friends about us over here at This Functional Family Podcast. We'd love to have you join our next show.
As a viewer.
Will you be our guest?
All right, Mr. Rogers. Like, what are you?
Oh, rest in peace, Mr. Rogers. Salute. He did pass, right? All right, I'm just going to end this episode because